Good morning. How are you all today? Welcome to Bible class with Andre and Betty. We're continuing our studies from the book of Genesis, and we're in chapter 23. We'll be looking at the burial site, the Hebrew burial site. Let me say that again. The Hebrew burial site in this chapter, beginning at verse 1. And Sarah was 127 old. These were the years of the life of Sarah. Verse 2. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arbor. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. So this burial site is going to be in the promised land in Canaan. And Abraham is in Canaan, but the land, the promise has not been fulfilled for the Israelite people to go into the promised land. This is prior to them entering into the 400 years of slavery in Egypt under the Pharaoh. So the Bible is not in chronological order. All of the scripture take parts from this place and that place to get the whole picture. So this is God's covenant with Abraham. And so Abraham is going to purchase a burial site for the Hebrew people. And so this is yet future. And Abraham, let me read this verse 2 again. And Sarah died in Kirjath Arbor. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. And Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. And this comforts us in knowing that it's okay to weep, to mourn, and to go through the grieving process when one of our loved ones pass away. And so Abraham came to mourn for Sarah and to weep for her. Verse 3. And Abraham stood up from before his dead. He was mourning over Sarah, and then he rose up and spake unto the sons of Heth, saying, verse 4, I am a stranger and sojourner with you. Give me a possession of a burying place with you, that I may bury my dead out of my sight. And so in purchasing this field, he's gonna not only purchase the cave where Sarah will be buried, but also the field and all the trees in that place in Canaan land. And verse 5, and the children of Heth answered Abraham, saying unto him, verse 6, hear us, my Lord, Lord being the lowercase, letting us know that he's not calling Abraham the Lord. So hear us, my Lord. Thou art a mighty prince among us. In the choice of our sepulchres bury thy dead. None of us shall withhold from thee his sepulchre, but that thou mayest bury thy dead. So Abraham approached them with this situation, and they all say, you can take whatever place you choose, you can have it. And Abraham stood up, verse 7, and bowed himself to the people of the land. This bowing himself to the people of the land is not worship, it's respect for them owning this place in Canaan at this point in history. So, and Abraham stood up and bowed himself to the people of the land, even to the children of Heth. Verse 8, and he communed with them, saying, if it be your mind that I should bury my dead out of my sight, hear me and entreat for me to Ephron, the son of Zohar. Now these are people of the Hivite, Hivite race. So verse 9, that he may give me the cave of Machpelah. And Machpelah means double because it's going to be not only the sepulcher, but the entire area, the field, with the trees being a part of that field. And so he says, ask or beseech Ephron to give me the cave of Machpelah, which he had. Ephron has this cave, which is in the end of his field. For as much money as it is worth, he shall give it me for a possession of a burying place amongst you. Verse 10, and Ephron dwelt among the children of Heth, and Ephron the Hittite, I spelled it wrong, Hittite, the Hittite answered Abraham in the hearing of the audience of the children of Heth, even of all that went in at the gate of his city, saying, no, my Lord, hear me. Ephron talking to Abraham. No, my Lord, hear me. The field I give thee, and the cave that is therein, which would be the sepulchre, I give it thee. In the presence of the sons of my people, give I it thee. Bury thy dead. So I don't want, Abraham says, as much money as it's worth. Ask him to give me the field. But this man says to Abraham, no, I don't want your money. You can have the field and the cave. But Abraham says in verse 12, and Abraham bowed down himself before the people of the land. Verse 13, and he spake unto Ephron in the audience of the hearing of the people of the land, saying, but if thou wilt give it, that is, Abraham spake unto Ephron in the hearing of the people of the land, saying, but if thou wilt give it, I pray thee, hear me. I will give thee money for the field. Take it of me, and I will bury my dead there. Speaking of Sarah, verse 14. And Ephron answered Abraham, saying unto him, my Lord, hearken or listen unto me. The land is worth 400 shekels of silver. What is that betwixt me and thee? Bury therefore thy dead. So silver is the metal of redemption, to buy back and to secure with payment of whatever is being redeemed. So he said, this is how much it cost. And that is nothing between you, the two of us. verse 16. And Abraham hearkened unto Ephron, and Abraham weighed to Ephron the silver, which he had named in the audience of the sons of Heth, 400 shekels of silver, current money with the merchant. It's good money, it's earnest money. And at this time, money was not counted, it was weighed on a scale. And so this silver is the amount necessary to buy the burying place in Canaan called Machpelah. And we'll see in later lessons in other books of the Bible that Abraham will be buried there. So Abraham and Sarah will be buried there. Isaac and Rebekah will be buried there. Jacob and Leah will be buried there, but Rachel is the one buried in Bethlehem, in the area of Bethlehem. And so this silver will buy back the land from these Hittites, verse 17. And the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, which was before Mamre or Hebron, the field and the cave was therein, and all the trees that were in the field, that were in all the borders round about, were made sure unto Abraham for possession in the presence of the children of Heth, before all that went in at the gate of his city. And so this purchase, giving him the silver, guaranteed this place to be left for them when the children of Israel go into the promised land. Verse 19. And after this, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah before Mamre. The same is Hebron in the land of Canaan. Verse 20. And the field and the cave that is therein were made sure unto Abraham for possession of a burying place by the sons of Heth. And so looking forward to the marriage of Isaac, and Sarah has died. Isaac is going to mourn for his mother 3 years, and then he's going to have the servant of Abraham to bring to Isaac his bride, who is Rebekah. Now, looking back on last week's lesson, I want to clarify who the seed of the woman is by the scripture, not by me just saying it. So if we would look in Galatians, the 3rd chapter, if I can find it. Yeah, Galatians, the 3rd chapter. Here we go. In verse 16, it says, Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds with an S, as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Christ. So that points back to Genesis 3:15, where the seed of the woman will bruise the head of Satan, and Satan will bruise the seed of the woman's head. And that points forward to the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus. And so all the Bible from Genesis up to the death, burial, and resurrection of Jesus, the seed is speaking of the genealogy and the heritage and ancestors leading up to the birth of Christ and him in his earthly ministry, consummating with his death, burial, and resurrection, his ascension, and the fact that he's coming back to us in the rapture and then in the revelation. So this lesson for today is the purchase of the field, and that means that Abraham bought the burying place for the Hebrew race. And with all these lessons, we have to tie them together in order for the message of redemption will be understood from Genesis to Revelation. So you all have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you next time.